Share your heart. Let's welcome him to the pulpit.
How about that? Can you hear me now? Woo! I'm glad to be here. You ever notice preachers always glad to be where we are? I'm glad you're not in Tanzania, though. And I told him, I said, look, man, I understand. I'll just go to my church tonight. He said, no, come on. I said, they need to be tormented one more time. Bless your hearts. I feel for you tonight. My wife couldn't make it. She fell ill on me right fixing to go out, and so I left her behind. And but we made it here. I don't know how I drove out here without her telling me where to turn, but somehow I did. This isn't being recorded, is it? Okay. Wow. Brother Eric's one of my favorite preachers, and I sometimes he can preach a little long. I don't know. I asked my wife one time, I said, my sermons are not long, are they? She said, not unless you're listening to them. Well, okay. But I heard about there was a long-winded preacher, a short-winded preacher, Easter Bunny, and Santa Claus. And it was the long-winded preacher. The other three don't exist. But anyway, some of you will get that a little later. It was funny to me when I heard it, Philip. I don't know about y'all. Woo! I got to quit fooling around and get with it. Y'all got a bunch of stuff you got to do tonight. I want to talk about the power of the touch. I don't think I realized how powerful the touch was or is until COVID came. You remember when we had to practice social distancing and you'd scare somebody to death, look like you're getting near them sometimes. Y'all kept going, didn't you? Online. I was pastoring in a little church in the Mill Village, and we did parking lot church. We got the FM, and it was a big parking lot. It just worked out because all 12 of them could get their cars up there. And we succeeded that way, and I tell you, it about broke me down though during that time. I buried 4 of my deacons. There was a senior adult church, and sure enough, it just took something out of me to go through that. Social distancing is tough. I'm not a big hugger, but I like to get hugged. I don't know. Does that mean, in other words, when you see me coming, you don't have to run. I'm not going to tackle you or nothing. But if you give me the okay, you know what I'm talking about. You got to get that eye signal going on, because I don't know. I respect your space, okay? But I am a handshaker, and I appreciate that. It's good when somebody gives us a pat on the back. And we sometimes sit together at the table. We communicate a lot of ways. We love to be touched. I'm going to read you this poem. You've heard it 100 times. It's called The Touch of the Master's Hand. 'Twas battered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it scarcely worth its while to waste much time on this old violin, but he held it up with a smile. What am I bidding, good folks? He cried. $1, $1. Then 2, only 2, $2, who'll make it 3? $3, $3, $3 twice, go in for 3, but no. From the room far back, a gray-haired man came forward and picked up the bow, and wiping the violin, he tightened and loosened the strings and played melody pure and sweet as a caroling angel sings. The music ceased, and the auctioneer, with a voice was quiet and low, said, what am I bidding for this old violin? And he held up the bow. $1,000, who will make it 2? 2,000, who will make it 3? 3,000 once, 3,000 twice. Going, gone, he said. Many a man with life out of tune and battered and scarred with sin is auctioned cheap to the thoughtless crowd, much like the old violin. But the master comes, the foolish crowd never can quite understand the worth of a soul and the change that's wrought by the touch of the master's hand. Praise God. Aren't you glad of that today? Wow. I am so thankful for my Lord's touch. He touches me many ways. Sometimes it's through his word. Sometimes it's through other people communicating to me. Sometimes it's that smile. You ought to be the preacher, folks. Could I tell you a little something? Eric, I can say this. You're not up here. And sometimes like they're wanting to kill me while I'm preaching. They're out there, bless me if you can. And they're out there, and I probably don't. But you don't know what people are thinking when you're up here and you see so many files. Some of you are smiling, some of you, and I see people with burdens. I understand